What is up, everybody? It's your boy Slumpenstein, and I'm coming at you with a new video. City ComicCon has just concluded. It was a pretty good convention, although personally I don't know if it was as good as last year's, but it was still a fun treat to take part of. There was lots of cool vendors. Actually there was some pretty nice guests this year. It just didn't seem like the floor was as full, or maybe it was just the way that they laid it out, but personally, it didn't feel as full and, as robust as last year. I was kind of disappointed that there wasn't any vendors, a lot of vendors selling like swords and stuff like that. Swords, video games, like in the previous past, 2 years. But, like I said, there was still a lot of vendors, selling a lot of cool comic books, Pops figures, action figures. Collector's Cast was there. They usually always have the biggest booth there. So there was still a lot of cool stuff to be seen. There was a lot of cool cosplays, and like I said, the guests were pretty cool. Burt Ward was basically the headline. Everybody seemed to be in Burt Ward's line, and everybody else's line was almost, it wasn't very evenly distributed. And you can tell that most of the people that were there to see a guest were there to see Burt Ward. I was able to stop in on a couple of panels, and the one, probably my favorite panel was the one about, it was about Michael Bay movies, Transformers in particular, and how bad they are, and putting a little, comedic spin on it. It was a little bit of a treat to see that. It was pretty funny. Sat in on that for a little while. Went to the tabletop room. We always visit the tabletop room because we play Yu-Gi-Oh and all that kind of stuff. I'll bring my Switch and set up in there. The tabletop room was pretty cool. I believe Collector's Cast sponsored the tabletop room, so they had a lot of tabletop games. A lot of games that I'd never seen before, like there was a Doom board game and this Baldur's Gate board game that looked pretty cool. A lot of them seem to be based off of D&D, which I think a lot of board games nowadays are. But like I said, that the tabletop room is cool. It was cool, especially since it was sponsored by Collector's Cast, which is, if you don't know what Collector's Cast is, I think they're based like in Kansas and Missouri. I think the only one is in Kansas. I want to say, I may be wrong, so don't quote me on that. And they're basically like a collectible card and tabletop game store. So they wheel and deal in that. And there were a few locations around, closer to me in Missouri, but those have closed, in recent years. But they're still a big business, and I always see them at all of the local conventions here. So that's always cool to see, because they always have some new, trading card game for me to check out. They always have some nice little figurines and stuff. But I really didn't buy too much this year. I don't think. I think the most that I bought was like a booster pack and a Yu-Gi-Oh box to put cards in. Everything else didn't. Nothing really grabbed me. There was a couple of pop figures I wanted to get. One of them was like $25, and I'm not a hardcore pop collector, so I didn't feel the need to spend $25 on that. But like I said, all in all, the convention was a success. Like we knew it was gonna be. I do feel like it wasn't as good as last year, which isn't necessarily a bad thing. There's gonna be ups and downs. And stuff like that, but I would definitely recommend that you check it out. It is still one of the big conventions in the Kansas City area. So I would definitely recommend it. Had a lot of fun, the time that I was there, and I'm definitely going back next year. So, like I said, if you weren't able to make it out this year, I hope you're enjoying the footage that's behind my lovely radio voice, and the photos also, and I hope that it gets you, excites you, and motivates you to come on down to Kansas City and check them out. Until next time, I will see you guys later. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and if you were there, tell me what your favorite part of the convention was, and if you weren't there, tell me if you plan on going. I'll catch you guys later.